How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. We are approaching the trade deadline now, just 7 days away. Got a lot of voicemails about different trade ideas. Jazz Chisholm, Tanner Scott, even had a suggestion for James Paxton, who just got DFA'd by the Dodgers. We'll get to all of that. But I do think that this is the time of year, about a week out, where you start to see moves get made. Some of the lower tier guys, at least, will get moved over the next few days. You can count on it. You know, we said the same thing during the winter, and it just went on and on and on and on. So maybe baseball's changing. Maybe everything is deadline driven now. Anyway, in the meantime, we've got the Yankees versus the Mets tonight and tomorrow. Luis Gil and Gerrit Cole both pitching in this series. Yankees should have the advantage on the hill. Luis Gil throwing really, really well the last few times out, and Gerrit Cole was excellent in his first start of the second half. So promising momentum in the rotation. Wouldn't be shocked if the Yankees add another piece to the rotation just to kind of solidify things. But we will talk about all of that when we get to your voicemails right now.
I live in New York City. I cannot believe you had the balls to do it.
Just a question. How come Cashman gives away our better players and keeps our worst players? Smith and Duran.
So for those of you who are listening and aren't sure what Booker is referencing, Ezekiel Duran and Josh Smith were part of the Joey Gallo trade a few years back, and they are both having phenomenal seasons. I don't know why the Yankees didn't have these guys ranked higher, but nobody really did, obviously, other than the Texas Rangers, who, by the way, world champions. So it's clear that, you know, whoever's evaluating prospects from our side got that one wrong. But, I mean, that's the story of Yankees history. We traded Jay Buhner for Ken Phelps, and we traded Doug Drabeck. And, you know, there's a lot of young players that the Yankees have traded away over the years that have turned into very good players with their new teams.
Robert calling in. Great show. Wondering if there's still any chance we go after Jazz Chisholm and Tanner Scott, and what you guys think, what kind of additions they would make.
All right, let's first take a look at Jazz Chisholm. He's obviously playing center field mostly this year, but as we talked about last night, he's played some second base, and he was a pretty good second baseman. His biggest thing is his speed. He ranks in the 98th percentile of base running value and in the 81st percentile of sprint speed. He's also a pretty patient hitter in the 60th percentile of walk percentage and in the 78th percentile of barrel percentage. Other than that, he's pretty much below average in everything except for bat speed and expected slugging. Now, you look at his spray chart, and he hits the ball all over the ballpark. He's got some pop to right field. I think he would be a nice addition. I think he would certainly be better than Gleyber Torres. He seems to use his legs much better than Gleyber Torres. So even if he's not hitting, he can give you value on the bases that Gleyber doesn't provide. And it sounds like he's a good enough second baseman that he should have no trouble replacing Gleyber Torres' league worst 12 errors. But, yeah, I like Chisholm. And Tanner Scott is obviously a dominant relief pitcher that a lot of teams are going to go after. So the Yankees, to get both of these guys in one trade, would have to really, really empty out the farm, I think. But they would be two really nice additions.
I had to call this in real time. What did I just watch on TV? DJ LeMahieu hitting a home run? I think we're in like a parallel universe or something. Like I didn't think the day will come.
I mean, honestly, that's truly how you know that we're in this simulation, that we're living in the Matrix. DJ LeMahieu actually hit a home run yesterday. I think that's enough evidence for scientists to go on to firmly conclude that this is not real, that nothing we're living through is actual reality. DJ LeMahieu hitting a home run should be impossible.
And you got to give some of your fans a treat. And every show, which we all watch, take your hat off and show your hair growing back in. You make a quick little chop, but we want to see it growing in day to day to day till you have all your hair back.
Got bad news for you, buddy. It's not growing back in all that fast. Actually, I've been shaving it. So a few people pointed out that I had the wrong type of razor to shave my head. So I actually bought a head shaving razor. It's kind of shaped so that you can, easily shave your own head without cutting yourself. And I've used it a couple of times, so I'm actually kind of keeping it in that, nearly bald state. My wife likes it better. I like it better. It's cooler. And, honestly, dealing with my hair, not my favorite thing.
Hey, Derek, this is Wayne. Love the show, man. Been a subscriber for a long time now. Really enjoying it. I got a question about maybe bringing back Paxton from the Dodgers, who was just DFA'd, 8-2 record, about a 4 ERA, but that would allow the pitching rotation to move Nasty Nestor into the bullpen.
From what I've heard from Dodger fans is that he isn't as good as the numbers kind of reflected, 8-2 and so forth. He's been bad lately. The knock on James Paxton is that he's never been healthy. Now they have Clayton Kershaw coming back. They've got Tyler Glasnow coming back, and they had to make room for one of those guys. I think it's interesting that they chose to DFA a guy who's had some success for them this year. That tells you that maybe the success is a little bit of fool's gold. So I liked Paxton when he was with the Yankees. I'd be very, very careful about bringing him back unless maybe he were willing to pitch out of the bullpen. He could be a lefty that gets lefties out late in the game if he were willing to do that. But I got to think that somebody's willing to trade for him to be a starter given some of the success he had early on this season.
Hey, Derek, this is Kevin. You're from Texas, man. Great show. Love you, bro. Hey, so my thing is, why is it that every single team feels like they have a Yankee killer, but it looks like we don't have any of the opposite? Like, I know Judge has, Judge against Baltimore or whatnot, but it just feels like everybody else, we have a Rosarena, we have Devers, we have Vladdy. It looks like every other team has Yankee killers, but we don't have the same throw it down.
Well, Judge and Soto are world beaters. They beat everybody. And I'm sure if you ask the fans of most teams, who kills you from the Yankees, they'd be like, man, Judge or Soto. I'm sure the Giants think that Soto is a giant killer because of the way that he swung the bat, when the Yankees were in town. The Twins, the Orioles. I mean, these are all teams that Aaron Judge demolishes. So we do have some. They just happen to be very concentrated.
Hey, Derek, great show. Frank from California. Carlos Rodon. Will the real Carlos please stand up? What an outing. And it's hard to believe he's so inconsistent, but great job with him and the belt. And it's obvious that Spencer Jones, they have made available. Cashman came out and said he's available.
It seems that the 37% strikeout rate for Spencer Jones might be putting off the Yankees' sort of long-term outlook on him. Now, the other day we had a commenter who basically pointed out how high his strikeout rate was, and I had to double-check because I didn't think it was that high, and it's really quite astronomical. And I, just cavalierly shot back. Aaron Judge also struck out a lot in the minor leagues, but if you go back and you look at Judge's strikeout numbers, another tall guy, they were nowhere near as high as Spencer Jones. Now, pitching has gotten better, over the last several years. Guys are throwing harder, but it's definitely concerning. And, the Yankees have had number one draft picks that they've traded a year or two later before. It's not the end of the world. I still think that Spencer Jones is going to be a very good player, but, the strikeout rate does have me a bit worried, and I would not be shocked if the Yankees dealt him at the deadline as part of a big deal.
This is Sparky from Greenville, Pennsylvania. I've been a Yankee fan since 1954. People are looking at this team like it's shot. We have too many holes to fill. But why don't we get
That was the end of the voicemail. Sparky, I hope you're okay. I hope you just didn't die on my voicemail.
Derek, this is Jake from Connecticut. Seen some stuff about Skubal being heavily pursued. I highly doubt that man gets moved, but in the event that he does, I could see the Yankees taking a big play. I saw a report Spencer Jones is potentially on the table. Again, it's going to take a 5-player heavy deal for somebody of that caliber, but The reason why I can see it being possible is if you fill that hole. I know the Yankees had some interest in Burns next year that, get you a Cy Young caliber pitcher in Skubal for a much cheaper price than Burns, seeing as he still has years of control, which would help him re-sign Soto. You have Dominguez in left field. You need to find your second base and third baseman, but I'm not too upset with that team moving into next year as well. I think that helps reassure him with Soto. I doubt it happens, but it is more than a 0% chance that they can pull it off.
Yeah, Tarik Skubal is legitimately amazing. He's 11-3. He pitched well again yesterday. 2.34 ERA, 20 starts, 123 innings pitched, 146 strikeouts, 0.92 whip, so less than a base runner per inning. You see the StatCast metrics. He's basically like the Juan Soto or the Aaron Judge of pitching when it comes to StatCast metrics. This guy is near the top of the league in just about everything. And I think if you can get him, you have to at least be interested. I wouldn't go Jones and Dominguez, but I would go Jones. I would consider Dominguez, but I probably wouldn't pull the trigger on that just because I'm such a big Jason Dominguez fan. But Spencer Jones, I think if you include him and a few other prospects, I don't think they would do it, but you got to be interested.
Yes, guys, I love your show. This is Sparky from Greenville, Pennsylvania. Something went wrong, I just called. But anyway, I don't think we're as far off as people think. We're getting Dominguez back to have a leadoff hitter there, and we're getting Stanton back to cover Judge. And now what we have to do is trade for a first baseman or third baseman. Well, for third for sure with LeMahieu.
First of all, Sparky, I'm glad you're okay. I agree with you about DJ LeMahieu. I don't think he's got a future with the Yankees for very long. I could see Vivas, who's been playing some third base in the minor leagues, stepping in. And Oswaldo Cabrera's had a couple of multi-hit games in the last few days. We know he can pick it over there. And obviously the Yankees could go out and trade for somebody. But honestly, I think I'd rather go with Vivas or even Cabrera than DJ LeMahieu. But, he hit a home run yesterday, so they'll probably give him a 2-year extension. But anyway, Yanks have a lot of options over the next several days. I'm sure they're going to start making moves soon because they've got more than one deal to make. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll get some news soon. Here comes the Nostra Derek prediction. All right, today's Nostra Derek prediction. Aaron Judge with a multi-hit game. He's going to make me 2 for 4 and get the batting average back up to 500 on the season. He's facing Jose Quintana, Subway Series. All the lights are on Aaron Judge. I just think he's going to step up and have a good game. I'm not predicting a home run, but I am predicting a multi-hit game for Aaron Judge, Yankee captain. We'll see you after the game with the recap.